Jaja Snoid. I have read about a dozen LRH books on Scientology from the early 50s, such as Scientology, A History of Man, and Have You Lived Before This Life? And I've done videos making fun of them because each book is spectacularly stupid. Did you read any of them when you were a Scientologist, and if so, how did you avoid seeing the idiocy his books exude on every page? Well, I've read all of Hubbard's books, or just about all of them. All of the basic Scientology and Dianetics books I've read, some more than once. And, as I sit here right now, I don't really have an excuse as to how I don't have some smart answer as to how I bought into those things, except to say that when you get into Scientology or any mass movement or any cult movement, you go in on a step-by-step basis. I've talked about this before, and every single point along the road is a point that you can easily agree with. When you walk in the front door of a Church of Scientology, no one is talking about Xenu. No one is really even talking about spaceships or galactic civilizations or even past lives. That stuff doesn't come out for a while, depending very much on how open or receptive you seem to it. You walk in there talking about past lives, they'll open the door to it, but that's not what they're pushing on you on the first day. The first few days, they're just talking about, or weeks or months, they're talking about work problems, family problems, personal problems. Those are the things that they're hooking you in with, and it's very easy to go in, have somebody listen to you in a very friendly fashion, and give you sensible, common sense advice, and you go, oh yeah, that makes sense, that's not too bad. Then you take the next step and the next step. So nobody is giving you Scientology, A History of Man, or Have You Lived Before This Life as your very first book or introduction to Scientology. So once you've started swallowing some of the more common sense stuff, some of the more easy, everyday life kind of things, and then you start gradiently, then let's say you start getting the idea of past lives. All right, past lives, great, we've lived before. Fair enough. Once you give into that idea, and it's, far from only Scientology that accepts that idea. I mean, Christianity believes that you have an eternal life. So the idea that you could have lived before is not really that far-fetched in a religious spectrum. You start buying into that, then you start going, well, if we've lived before and life goes back, before Earth, if spiritual beings have lived millions of years, what was going on back then? Star Wars, right? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Scientologists love that, by the way. They just think that's the best beginning on the Star Wars thing ever. So, anyway, you see my point. One step leads to another, and before you know it, you're buying Xenu and galactic confederations and people being transported around the galaxy in ice cubes. That's how it works.